Hi.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday.
Wednesday Wisdom.
Wednesday Wisdom. Pastor Phil, Pastor Janice. We answer to anything. At least I do anyway. So,
yes.
Been married a long time. Been a pastor a long time.
Yeah.
Like 24 years. Plus.
I don't know.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Hi, we have a gorgeous sunset right now. If you haven't,
Oh, it's beautiful.
locally, if you run out to your window and go, ooh, ah.
I posted a picture on Facebook, but I don't know if you'll see it or not. But it's on my news feed.
Yep.
Anyway, I got lots of stuff to share tonight, and people will just see us when they see us.
Yes,
a lot of people watch later,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
Hey, Valerie.
Hey, Valerie. Thanks for joining us.
All right. So we do actually, I think we do an incredible job. Well, normally when we actually have a building and have Sunday services, we always start at 10-ish, and it's usually way more ishy, like 10:15. It's all over the place. Yeah. When we've been doing these things, we are like
on the dot.
On the dot. I don't know why that is.
Well, we're trying to because
yeah.
You're expecting, and you don't want to just kind of hang out and wait for us.
I mean, as it is, we just blather for a couple of minutes until people sign in a little bit. So,
not that we need to, because people can pick it up.
Yeah, I blather all the time anyway. Hi, Scott.
No.
And Jan says I haven't done these two, so I
don't remember them.
I've got them marked,
I may have
but it's
blanked
like,
them
I can't
out.
decide. So, why did the baker stop making donuts?
You told me, so I know.
Yeah, I know, but he was tired of the whole business. However you want to say it. Did you hear about the guy who drank food coloring? He died a little inside. So, ta-da! And actually, Jan came out here and discovered one of my books. The dog, for whatever reason, had decided that she was going to
play with the cover.
Play with the cover, yeah.
I rescued it though.
Okay.
Why didn't she get that book? If she'd have gotten that book, I would not have rescued that book. I would have let her shred it.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, I'm out of here. You're on. Hi, Sandy.
Hello. Hi, Beth. So, got a lot I want to share with you tonight. Last Sunday we talked about the symbolism and the guided meditation, and there's just something really powerful about symbolism that speaks to us, speaks directly to our heart of hearts, speaks past that mental jabbering, and gives us a ring true. It talks to our awareness rather than the chattering mind. So this evening, what I'd like to do is I'd like for us to look at symbolism as a vehicle for overcoming distress or overcoming challenges. Okay? So I wasn't really sure what I was doing with this. So Phil and I met with my brother and Sue, and we talked about this, and we ran through several scenarios. Oh my gosh, they really, really worked. So I want you to start with thinking about a challenge that you have right now. It could be anything. So whether it's whatever. I'm going to go through some samples and examples of what I'm expecting of you or what I'm asking of you. And then I'm going to give you some solutions. And then we'll try to fine-tune a solution that'll work for you so you can walk away with a new tool. Before we do this, let's do this infinity symbol thing just because it really works. And it brings us back into attentiveness and that spiritual awareness that we're looking for. Because life and challenges all become chaotic and hectic or boring and dull. Sometimes I think that's worse. And that distracts us from the spiritual insights. It distracts us from that connectedness that we want to feel, that we want to experience, that grand wisdom. Wednesday Wisdoms, that's what we're here for. So to do this, index finger, left hand thumb of right hand and touch. Index finger of right hand, thumb of left hand and touch. And what this does is it creates an infinity symbol. See how that works? And energetically, the energy can flow around that figure 8, granting you access to the energy of infinity, the energy of that is not stuck with the here and now. It goes into the forever, the eternal energy. And there's a part of us that is eternal, that extends beyond this physical life. We can tap into that with that. And then we do the gratitude, an appreciation, and an acknowledgement. So you can do all of that. I recommend 3 breaths on each one. You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to even do it this way. Excuse me. Someone was telling me they were in a meeting and they couldn't quite grasp what was going on, or they didn't. Anyway, they just put their hands together and then linked their finger and thumb together this way. And she said instantly when she did that, she felt calm. And it was a really difficult meeting, and this totally gave her space in order to be calm amongst all of that stress and difficulty. So however you do that is the intent of that and the awareness of that that brings you balanced and centered. So if we were going to do that today, I'm going to just do a gratitude. I'm so grateful for Facebook that we have opportunity to meet with you. There's a lot of people that don't show up here and now, but show up later and watch these later, and it's been a real blessing. Everybody keeps telling me it's a real blessing to them. So I'm grateful that we have Facebook. I appreciate, the second one is appreciation. I appreciate everyone that tunes in, whether it's during the live thing or later. I just appreciate your participation in that. And then an acknowledgement, I'm acknowledging myself for suiting up, showing up, and just doing this because I wasn't much of a Facebook person to start with. So this was a huge challenge, so I acknowledge myself for that. So that's your gratitude, appreciation, and acknowledgement. And with that, that centers us and brings us back into the here and now. It's so easy to get locked up in what happened, what did happen, what could happen, what should happen, but isn't, all that. It's easy to get lost in that. So having any tool that will help us back into the here and now is really powerful. So now with that said, let's look at some situations and apply some imagery and visualizations to that, okay? So the first one I wanted to share with you is health issues, whatever you have, if you have a health issue. Maybe you can visualize that as a tangle of spaghetti. And so then just put a fork in it and twirl it around, and then it all kind of pulls together. So the fork symbolizing medical intervention, or a fork symbolizing new insights, whatever that symbolism works for you, that's good. For me, I took that symbol of the entanglement, but for me it looked like twine. All knotted up and everything, and then I just cut through it with a sword, the sword of truth. So the sword of truth is the body has the capacity to heal, and I'm applying that sword of truth to that. There's, and then after that, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit tonight. Then after that, I visualized, specifically for some swelling, I visualized a cave, and it was full of bats and guano everywhere, and it just felt really nasty and ugly. And then I had an underground stream come up and just wash that out. There was an opening, the bats could fly away. I like bats, bats are fine. So the bats flew away, and this water came in and washed that all. And what was left was this beautiful crystalline cave, and it was just lovely. Oh my gosh, what the heck, the swelling went down. It was just amazing. So what this symbolism really works. Your body takes it to heart, your heart takes it to heart, and spirit can communicate with you. You've heard me say before that symbolism is the language of spirit. It truly is. So the more symbolic we can get, the faster we can get to the truth of things, because that totally sidesteps the thinking mind. The thinking mind wants to judge. The thinking mind wants to criticize. The thinking mind wants to tell you all the why nots. But the symbolism cuts right through that. Doesn't pay attention to any of that. It's just its own level of truth, and it works. So let's look at some other issues that might be alive and well in your life, and you'd like to have some relief from that or a solution for that. What about money troubles? This one was really cool. So we were talking about having money troubles and how it was just like a big black hole. And what visually showed up for me was an angelic seal. And what that looks like is just this big disc, and we just sealed it. And then all of a sudden we could start thinking about the things that we were grateful for and all the abundance that we really do have in our life. Because this black hole of fear was just sucking everything out, and we couldn't appreciate what we have. So this blocked that flow and reflected back to us our abundance that's already here for right now. Yeah, there's challenging times and there's difficulties that we're facing, and some are facing some really strong difficulties about this. But fear doesn't help it. Having gratitude and appreciation and a positive attitude does. I can tell you that personally. Phil and I have had some really difficult financial situations, and we never allowed ourselves to be afraid, because when there was fear, then we didn't do well. And when we allowed ourselves to move into this gratitude and appreciation and faith and trust, things happened in our behalf that were just uncanny. You know, you can't make this stuff up kind of stuff. And so I strongly encourage you, if you have financial issues and it feels like a black hole is sucking your money, sucking your home, sucking your well-being right down the drain, put this angelic seal. So what that looks like, to me, might look something different to you. It looks like a big giant coin. And it just rolls into place and seals that. And then you have angelic assistance. The angels are handling it. The angels are helping here. And it's just a beautiful segue. Beautiful symbol to assist the brain and the heart getting in sync with the spiritual truth of everything's going to be fine. Okay, everything is going to be okay. Even if we go through difficult stuff, we're breathing. We're alive. Okay? So what about... if there's relationship conflicts, I'm trying to read, and the room is dim here. Okay, so let's imagine that's a test of wills. You want one thing, the other person wants something else, and there's a struggle back and forth. Okay, so the symbolism there is a tug of war, like a rope, tug of war rope, okay? So then the solution for that, bring a solution into that that's going to bless that. And then what you can do is you can tie that rope together. And then it becomes this sacred circle where there's understanding, compassion, and connection. It's when we're pulling apart that we don't have that connection. But if we can tie those things together and come together in some sort of a unity, then those relationship issues can be resolved. There was another relationship issue that we talked about in this group that I was sharing with you. And one had to do with someone who had passed away. And there was this conflict about it. And the symbolism that came up with that was a lightning bolt, because this was painful and it was sharp and it was, they think they would be fine and then it would hit them again. And so, okay, well, what's the solution for that? And what was visualized was a Tesla coil. So I don't know if you know what a Tesla coil is, but you've probably seen them. They'll shoot lightning bolts back and forth, or electrical charges back and forth. So this lightning bolt that this person had been carrying or feeling or reeling from, God's got this. And she could finally let it go. It was lovely. It was wonderful. She felt a huge relief from that. So that was quite a beautiful thing. So what about depression? You know, a lot of times right now, we're all struggling with some mental health issues, some emotional health issues. Let's face that. Pretending that it's not there, everything is just fine and dandy, la la la, it's not helpful. Instead, let's visualize that anxiety or that depression or whatever as a ball and chain, and it's dragging you down. And the more you ignore it, the bigger it gets, right? Okay, so then the solution to this, you know, you can do whatever you want to do with this, because this is just all visualization and imagery and fun. The more fun you can make with it, the more powerful it is. So you could attach a ball to the ball and chain. You could attach a hot air balloon that's filled with divine hot air, and so it just lifts it up. So there's still things that are necessary for each of us to do to manage depression and manage anxiety. There's treatments and techniques that we can use, but now we have spiritual help, so we're not being totally dragged down by that. Make sense? Maybe again, you'd like to take the sword of truth and just cut that off and be free of it. Now you still have the ankle bracelet, and with ignoring depression, it's just going to get worse or come back to you. So this reminds you it's imperative to deal with that stuff. Do the work. Do the work. And there's lots of support systems out there to assist you in that. So find the tools that work for you and deal with that. But in the meantime, you can have this visualization assistance that will help you and grant you maybe just a space of breathing room so that you feel a little lighter and you're able to function. You're able to think and process things through more easily. Make sense? What about betrayal? Some of us have had some betrayal issues in the past, haven't we? So what if betrayal was a boomerang? And you send your trust out and it comes back to you and hits you in the head. Oh, ouch, that hurts, doesn't it? And betrayal really does. It's really painful. Because we send something out of love, appreciation, mutual trust, mutual respect, and it is not returned to us in the same way it's returned in a disappointing, sorrowful way. So the solution to that could be a big giant catcher's mitt. So catch that boomerang, get a hold of it, and realize that you can send it out when the next person is trustworthy. That person's just not trustworthy. They weren't worthy of your respect and honor and appreciation. The next one will be, and you'll pay attention to that. But in the meantime, use this catcher's mitt and hang on to that. And don't let it hit you in the way that is painful or hurtful. Catch it. Okay, I sent out love and appreciation and respect, and it was sent back to me in a snarky way to hit me. I got that. I get it. And I'm going to hang on to that. And I'm not going to send that out again to that same person. I'll send it out to somebody who's worthy of my trust, my respect, and my appreciation. Does that make sense? Questions on that? You can feel free. What about politics and the conflict with that? Oh my gosh, there's so much of that. So a visualization for that could be, well, what I saw was two suspended big logs, and they were swinging, and they went bam into each other, and the splinters flew, meaning everybody around is getting hurt by all of this. So what I visualized was a big white fluffy cloud that the logs came in and they hit, but they went poof, and they didn't react, didn't respond, didn't shatter. And then I visualized people getting on these logs and steering them so that they started moving in a different direction, so they weren't crashing into each other at all. So there's more in line with moving forward. And then I visualized those logs going into a river and flowing downstream, just like they needed to go to the mill to be turned into wood products for us. So that's a lot of information really fast. I hope that's helped a bit. If you have a specific situation that you'd like me to help you find a visual for, send that to Phil. Phil's on the other line, and he can pick up the phone and send it to me. Tell me what you might need, and we'll chat that out, and I'll see if I can't get a visual for you that could be of assistance. Any questions about that visualization and how that works? I know this stuff works. It's powerful. And I know that as a result of doing some of the visualization for myself already, I'm already feeling better. So let me know if you have any questions. And if not, then we'll just wrap up here in another minute or two. So in the meantime, I want to remind you about our donation button or our donation link. I had somebody tell me today that they would donate, but they're watching services and they don't have their checkbook handy. And so if you need a reminder, I would be happy to send you a personal message and remind you to check on PayPal or whatever you would choose to do, so that it would be not during services but at a later time. So if you want a reminder, personal reminder, you just let me know. I'll be happy to do that for you. So was there any questions or comments, Mr. Phill? No questions or comments. Okay. So I really think this is significant, important stuff. So if you think of something, you can always contact me personally. But in the meantime, keep dreaming. I love it. Mr. Phill, you might as well join me back here then. Oh, and Beth just posted the donation link. Thank you, Beth. But again, if you want a private, personal reminder, I'm happy to do that for you. So just let me know. Mr. Phill? He's coming.
I'm just going to see if there's any
Well, there's
questions.
something.
I must have just come in.
It did.
Nope, just a comment.
Oh, okay. I'll have to read it later when I can see. Anyway, thank you all.
And thank you, Sandy Lang. The information you gave me worked out really well. So thanks.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to do our energy circuit. You're connected in. Bring it into your heart space. Down your left arm to your palm. From your left palm to your right palm. Up your arm, back into your heart space, and that completes a circuit. And as we breathe in that energy and send it around the circuit, that empowers it and strengthens it and expands it. Now, while you're doing this, if you would put your visualization between your hands, visualize whatever that visual is that would work for you for whatever your situation is. Put it in between your hands, and that amplifies the energy of that. You might want to try that. So just be with that for just a moment. And let's clear that. Deep breath in and exhale. Let it go. Fresh energy in, left to right, back to the heart space. Building that energy again. You'll start to feel this sphere of light. And as you bring that sphere of light into your awareness, it expands. And you can bring that expansive energy into your heart space or into your ascension orb, whichever you prefer. May your life be a prayer. God bless, and we will see you Sunday.
Sunday, right here.
Right here.
Bye.
Bye.